Hey guys, I have to start off by saying I'm sorry I ghosted you. I didn't anticipate not coming back after the holiday. But simply put, I had a little crash out, emotionally, mental health, maybe even physically. There, to list all of the ways in which God has come through and provided for our family and doors He's opened in so many different facets for our family in the last 6 months would take a whole episode and would probably bore you, but I've been going at a rate that I needed to recover from, I guess is the best way I could think of to say it. So I didn't intentionally mean to ghost you, and I'm really sorry that I did that. I do feel badly because I try to be consistent and woman of my word that you can count on. If I say I'm going to show up and come out with an episode, I'm going to show up and come out with an episode. But I'm also human and a mom who is walking through estrangement, but just a reminder, still has 3 kids at home, 16, 13, and 12. And I still have a full-time job outside of the work that I do with estranged moms and this ministry that God's building, which is incredible. And I'm so honored to walk this all with you. And, the Lord has just been so gracious to me. But it's like having 2 full-time jobs. And then so much of the holiday season was spent solo parenting as my husband was away for work because there was a hurricane in Jamaica. And so the organization that we work for showed up to provide relief. And so he was gone majority of November and December and January. So it was a lot the last 3 months and the last 6 months, and I just needed a pause. So thank you for bearing with me. I hope that you had a wonderful holiday season. I'm eager to jump into this next episode because I had the opportunity to chat with a new friend, Sally Harris, and I came across her page on Facebook. She is a mom who has walked through estrangement, who is now reconciled with her daughter. She's a woman of faith. She offers amazing resources for moms who are walking through estrangement. She is a coach. She has retreats. She has a very robust, is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word. I love talking to myself because you guys can't tell me. You're probably saying it in your car, but anyways, of YouTube resources that are just full of nuggets and wisdom and great information that I think is going to be helpful tools for all of you. So I really enjoyed my chat with her today. We had never spoken before, but I'm so glad the Lord crossed our paths because there's not a lot of women who are walking through estrangement who are talking about it in the way that she and I are talking about it and that are also Christians. So it was really refreshing to just hear her perspective and how the Lord is moving through her. And I am just so glad that she's honoring the calling that God has on her life and to step in and provide resources. And she said it really well, but providing what she needed. And she's doing that really well. So I'm super excited for you guys to hear from her. Yeah, let's dive in. We kind of just jumped right into this conversation because we were mid-conversation and I was like, no, stop, we have to record because we were just, getting to know each other a little bit. And so we jumped right in. So if it feels like you're just jumping into the middle of our conversation, you kind of were. I hope you guys enjoy and I will talk to you later. Sally and I were just talking a few minutes ago and I was like, wait, I just randomly cut off in the middle of my sentence and I was like, we just need to hit record because we just jumped in and I'm so excited to chat with you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So we were talking about your YouTube because you have an amazing YouTube and your coaching and all the things that you're walking through. And when I first came across Sally, the reason I reached out to her is because, I was getting ready to ask her if she agreed or disagreed or her thoughts on it, that I don't feel like there's a lot of Christian women talking about estrangement. And so when I reached out to Sally to see if she would come on the podcast, that's wise because she's in a different season of it than me. And so I really want her to share her wisdom with you guys and her experience. And I value that Christian perspective so much. And I think that it is unique in this space. And so I'm so excited to connect and hear your story and how the Lord's walked with you through it and what you've learned and all your wisdom and nuggets. So,
All the things,
yeah.
it's been a journey for sure. Where would you like me to start?
Let's start from let's keep it estrangement focused, I guess. Are you currently walking through it? Have you reconciled? How
Yes.
long was your estrangement? What
Yeah,
what do you feel comfortable kind of sharing that led up to it? Let's start
sure.
there.
So my daughter, yes, we are reconciled. Praise God.
Praise God.
She's been back. I live in Florida. She moved down here in 2020. So she reconciled with the family. So we've been back together for about 5 years.
Awesome.
Um, and it started when she was about 14, though. So it went for a span of about 10 years, if I'm honest. Not complete, like no contact the entire
Sure.
time. Lots of different touch points. She had a
Yeah.
lot of things that happened in her life that some by her choice, some by not.
Yeah.
And but when her life started spiraling, so did mine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where moms, I believe, just from my own personal experience and the hundreds of moms that I coach, that's the biggest mistake we can make because our job when our kids' lives go sideways is to really two things. One is we have to take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big self-care. Okay, so that what does that mean? Like there's a whole bunch of things there,
Right.
but
Right.
emotionally, physically, spiritually, literally it's crisis time when you're going through that and it's not the time to flounder because that's what I did and then I became an alcoholic during that time. I had gained 70 pounds. I was a mess.
Mm.
For however you want to define it, I was a hot mess.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't walk away from the Lord, but I wasn't leaning on him because I didn't even know what that meant.
Right.
Um, and so it was newer for me in the space of really it was rubber meets the road, like, okay, now you're either going to trust him or you're not.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to do that
Okay.
in a big sense.
Yeah.
So lots of things happened. Fast forward, my daughter actually, she was in prison for a few years. We had a lot of things that happened in the family and so forth. But when she came back, and now she actually, it's beautiful because she speaks at my retreats. I have
Oh,
retreats for moms, and
I love
she does
that.
a Q&A with the moms, which is beautiful. Um,
I'm sure they like soak in everything of her. Yeah.
as I would have.
Yeah.
I would have. And like you're doing this for a reason, Nicole.
Yeah.
God led you to do this, which I think is beautiful. And you're doing it even though you're still in the middle of it, right? I
Yeah.
wasn't fully restored with her when I started either,
Mm.
but I believe that I believe he's going to honor that. And that's going to make this transition a lot faster for you guys. Um, so yeah, so there's just a lot of things that happen. If there's anything specific you want me to share, I can.
Is there anything that you feel like specifically helped with reconciliation? Like you said, I don't know if you use the word steady, but being steady and like, how did you get to that place of healing? I think there's a big chasm with women that I work with, moms that I work with, of I'm stuck in the grief, but we have to, like you said, you have to be well. So how do they transition? Like what mindset shift did you have or heart shift or what do you feel like the Lord revealed to you or how did he worked in you that you went from chaos to present and calm to be that steady?
Yeah. And it starts with surrendering all of this to him.
Mm,
And that's a big word. Like, what does that even mean for a lot of
right.
people, right?
Yeah.
It's like letting go of the control that you think you have, but you don't. Because as moms, we spend however many years, all these years, being their everything, taking care
Right.
of them, being
Right.
responsible for doing all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden, in some magic moment, we're supposed to just let go.
Yeah.
Most
And
moms
it's
don't know
supposed to be easy.
how
Everyone
to.
feels like it's
Yeah,
supposed to be this easy moment. Like it's just glorious and like
yeah,
it's a smooth transition. No.
right. Very.
Even if you're not walking through estrangement, it's hard.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why so many moms struggle with the whole empty nest thing, even
Yeah.
just in general,
Yeah.
even if they're not having issues, like you said.
Right.
So that the surrender and release piece is, like I said, it's releasing control and giving it to the one who has that control to make the change, but also at the same time knowing who your enemy is, because God is not your enemy.
Yeah.
He didn't do this.
Right.
This is a spiritual battle
Mm.
that each and every one of the moms that you serve and the moms that I serve and that I went through, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
see that at the time, but it is so blatantly obvious to me now and
Yeah.
has been for many years.
Yeah.
But if I'd have known, I believe, how to pray and stop begging God and start trusting God
Mm. That's
and
powerful.
start believing what I'm actually praying for. And that's something that I teach my moms a lot now too, is that it's one thing to say what we're so kind of double-minded in the sense of I'm going to pray and I'm going to be like, Lord, thank you for bringing my daughter home and thank you for protecting her and reconciling my family. And then 10 minutes later, we're off telling our best friend or our spouse, she's never coming home. I just can't believe this is even happening. Like, like we got
Yeah.
to pick a side
Yeah.
because our
Yeah.
words matter
That's true.
and
That's
they're
true.
powerful.
That's true. I think we get it's the word that comes to mind is like manifestation, and I know that's like a word. Oh my gosh, a word that okay, like a new agey kind of word
Yeah.
that some Christians don't necessarily like, but our words do matter, and our mindset matters, and our words and our heart aligning matters. And I'm not saying you have to be perfect and that you can't feel those things. The other side of that, I think too, and I'd love to hear your perspective, is being honest with God. Like, if you're angry, if you're sad, like, don't fake it. Like, I was just listening to in Genesis today when Sarah laughed when God said she was going to have a baby, and she laughed, and then he was asked her why she laughed, and she said, "No, I didn't." And I thought, "Oh, look, she's even trying to
Yeah.
hide how she's feeling or her reaction from God." And he's like, "No, girl, like I heard you
Right.
laugh."
Are you
But
doing the Bible recap?
yes, are you
Oh,
doing it?
hi. I know. I
Yeah.
just read that too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just thought like we still are doing that. We're still trying to hide how we're actually feeling when God can handle it. He can handle our real honest feelings, our vulnerable, raw, angry, frustrated, hurt, despair. And I think as I've walked with the moms in my community that when we can let down that guard of perfection because we want for the world it makes us look like what kind of mom are we that our kids are estranged from us because the culture and society says that you're toxic and all of these things so you're a bad mom and then when we try to put this level of what we think we should be praying like or how we think we should be coming to the Lord instead of how we authentically genuinely are feeling when we come to the Lord.
Yeah.
Making that shift is really powerful too, just to be able to sit at his feet. Like, this is awful.
Yeah.
And when he shows up, and I think that that leads to the surrender piece that you're talking about of, okay,
Mhm.
God, like, if I'm letting all those walls down, all those expectations down, and I'm just raw before you,
Yeah.
what is,
Our church did a series recently about, I think it was called Dad and King. It's like
okay.
he's both. And we forget
Mm,
that he is that dad that we can run to. And yes, he
yeah.
still has that authority. He's still king, that respect factor and all of that. But yet,
Yeah.
he's still your dad.
That's true.
And so, and he already knows anyway how you're feeling.
Right. Yeah.
There's no shame, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No shame. When you guys reconciled, was how did you guys manage that? Did you make the first step? Was it a joint? How did you go from not speaking to speaking? Or we read a book in our community too, and she talked about reconciling and she said there wasn't really like an apology to her. It was just like a conversation, kind of mutually we're ready to move forward. Did you guys have an apology, like ownership of things that had happened? Did you kind of just decide to move forward? What did that look like?
So for me, a lot of this was more about my daughter and her own struggles.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I was a perfect parent because I wasn't. There's no such
Sure.
thing.
Right.
But it wasn't one of these things where it was like, you're doing this, so I'm leaving. It
Yeah.
was at 16, we had sent her to a boarding school and then she went to a rehab and then she fell into the wrong crowd and all of that. And so there's
Right.
a lot of factors there. So there was intermittent contact, but we would go up quite a long time with nothing. In fact, she shared recently I didn't even know this till she shared it at the retreat last year. She said, because I would email her at the email that I had for her,
Okay.
and for the longest time, she didn't even check that. She was
Okay.
living a very different life than how she
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
completely different, and it was not on her radar to check that. But she realized once she did, and she saw all these emails from me, now I can imagine what they said. Horrifying. The begging, the pleading, the, saying all the wrong things. But at the end of the day, she knew that I had not given up on her.
Mm.
And so there was also a time where she did agree to have lunch with me, kind of in the middle of that stuff. It was very awkward. And uh, again, she was not living a healthy lifestyle at
Yeah.
all. And so it was very hard. And I also knew that as a mom, I had to relinquish control of trying to get her to come back home because she was still
Mhm.
quite young.
Mhm.
And she's 31 now. So this was a while back, but um, when she did come back and she moved, because we're not from the state. So we had moved down here like 10 years ago. And then she moved down about 5 years ago. And it's not like there was this big sit down conversation,
Mhm.
but she did own, right? Like there was, I'm sorry I put you through that,
Yeah.
because she knew bits and pieces, and she found out that I had started drinking
Mhm.
and I had gone through this horrible situations with that. And so, and I don't blame her for that. That was how I chose to cope,
Yeah. Yeah.
just to numb out because
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it anymore, or
Yeah.
so I thought.
Yeah.
But regardless, yeah, sometimes a lot of moms will ask me that too, like, I want an apology.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
hear
like,
that too.
I get that. I understand that. Do you want an apology or do you want to be right? There's lots of factors in there.
Yeah.
My concern is what so many times I hear is that this happens again if there's not a conversation.
Yeah.
So that's why the conversation is so important. It may
Mhm.
not look exactly verbatim how you're picturing. There's just going to be this gorgeous apology. Because
Right.
I'll tell you, I had changed behavior out of her long before I had an I'm sorry. And that was enough for me because I knew my girl was back.
Because you could recognize the change.
I recognized she was my child again. I didn't know
Yeah.
who that girl was for all those years because the enemy had a hold of her.
Yeah.
And but then um, she was saved and she got back with a
Mhm.
stronger relationship with the Lord, stronger than ever.
Mhm.
And just everything about her shifted. There was
Yeah.
nothing fake about it. There was no manipulation. There was no lies. There was no nothing. It's like,
Right.
this is my girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, that's an apology. That's all I need.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. I agree. And I hear that a lot from moms too. Like, and I would say for my situation too, the first time we reconciled, there wasn't a conversation really. It just kind of like, because it wasn't a complete cutoff, kind of similar to you. There was still some intermittent contact. And then it just kind of got better and it was good. And then this last time it was a complete cutoff. And I will say that I'm the mom that's like, I don't know. I don't know an apology, but we'd have to have a conversation. I don't know how we obviously I am obedient to the Lord and I will do whatever he asks me to do and calls me to do. Um, but I think about that too, that this time I think I would want a conversation, whereas last time I was like, I'll do whatever
Yeah.
just to be in her presence and to have
Yeah.
relationship again. And now I'm like, I think there has to be something said.
Right.
So
Yeah. And that those conversations really, especially that first one, one thing that I see a lot, or recommendations that I make is somebody has to go first. Now we're talking about adult kids here. We're not talking about
right,
teenagers, right? Or younger.
right.
So I believe we have to go first. We're mom. And so we need to listen first. And
Yeah.
that's really hard for a lot of moms.
Yeah.
But these are the things I prepare these moms for reconciliation. So when
Yeah.
they get that call or they
They're
get that
ready.
touch point, they're ready and they know what to do.
Yeah.
Like you
That's
have to arm
powerful.
yourself with
Yeah.
knowledge. So really listening and being interested in what they have to say, even if you disagree. You could
Yeah.
you could completely disagree, but what we tend to do is more of um, the justification or
Right.
excuses or interrupt and say, "Oh no, that's not how it happened." And you might be right. Maybe it isn't how
Yeah.
it happened.
Yeah.
But in her mind or his mind,
That's how
that's
it
how it
happened.
happens.
Right.
That's their perception, and you're not going to change anyone's perception.
Mm-hmm.
And so at some point you have to agree to disagree on. right? Or just, I'm sorry that you felt that way or that incident made you feel that way.
Right.
It's never my intention.
Right.
Those kinds of things. But I just believe that the enemy is so, he's always been after the family because,
Mm-hmm.
that's just his thing. If he could divide
Yeah.
and subtract and divide, right? That's what he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
And if he's doing that and he's successful and with the way our world is right now, it's getting worse at the moment.
Right. Right.
It's going to get better. But right now, 1 in 3 families
Mm-hmm.
are affected by this, which is insane.
Insane.
It's the best word I can come up with. It
I
is
know.
insanity.
It's yeah, it's wild. It's wild. It's and what's also so crazy is I don't know about you, but so many moms that I hear from are I thought I was the only one. I thought I was alone. And it's affecting so many of us. And I think that's part of why I talk about it. It's because I don't want, I think that the enemy works best in the shadows, right? He's in the darkness. And if he keeps us stuck in the shame of I am the only one and isolates us, then he has more power and control. But if we can be like, you're not alone. Like, I'm not saying this is a club we all want to be a part of. We don't. But there's power in this. And to like the work that you do, like, we can be working on ourselves, our relationship with the Lord, how he would have us, things that he would have us change with your guidance, like you're saying, how to prepare so you're ready for those conversations. We can use this time wisely. We didn't get a choice in if it happened or not.
Right.
Sometimes, we do, but we can use it wisely. We don't have to stay just stuck so that we're ready, be preparing. And I think so much of that also has to do with when we're doing that preparing, like how you're talking about, also finding our worth outside of motherhood. So if we're finding our worth, reestablishing that like we're a child of God first, then when they come and they have these hard things for us to hear, it's easier to hear because my identity isn't just in that I failed as a mom or their perspective of my motherhood. I'm I've identified as something else as well. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Your identity, your self-worth, all of those things, the forgiveness aspect, the self-forgiveness,
Oh, that's
um,
huge.
and figuring out where your responsibility really lies.
Yeah.
And what are you holding on to that isn't even yours to carry?
Yeah.
So there's so many factors that moms can work through to grow stronger.
Hmm.
And, I fully believe that I had my daughter, she did the work that she needed to do. I did mine. And I did mine on my own because I didn't have anybody. I
Yeah.
didn't have anyone. I saw a therapist for a short period of time who had toddlers. So
Yeah.
I say someday she saved my life, but as far as dealing with my child, like she really didn't help me much. Um, but at the end of the day, it's like when God called me to this, I needed to be who I didn't have. Who
Yeah.
did I
Oh,
need when
that's
I
so
was looking
good.
for that?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
how I create everything is
Yeah.
did I need that?
Yeah.
Right? Or the moms that I serve, is that something that they need? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Can we talk about your retreats? Because I hear from my community, I've thrown around the idea of doing a retreat, and I've got to tell you, I'm really intimidated. But I saw an advertisement for your retreat, and it seems so reasonably priced that I was super excited. Because in my community, we had talked about Joshua Coleman and Rachel Hack they're doing a retreat, and it was out of the budget of most of my community. And I saw your retreat, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so reasonably priced. Can you tell me like what does your retreat involve? Like, what does it look like? What do you guys do?
Yeah. So this year, 2026, I have two of them. One is in Florida in April,
Okay.
and we have one in Utah. I was invited
Okay.
to bring it to Utah
That's
to a
so
church
cool.
there. Yeah. And that's in
That's
June
awesome.
of this
Okay.
year. So what we do is we spend a day and a half together. So some of these moms walk through the door. Some of them have never even met me.
Mm-hmm.
They have not met a soul. And I give
Mm-hmm.
them such credit. It's so beautiful. Like I always tell them, like, you'll feel alone for like 10 seconds. And then somebody is like your new best friend because you just need community because some of
Mm-hmm.
these moms are isolating and aren't telling anybody.
Right. They're embarrassed and there's shame and all the
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I really teach them. We talk a lot about the surrender aspect because there, without that, nothing's going to shift here.
Sure.
And So we talk about that. We talk through, I have some special guests that come in and speak as well. My daughter also
I love
does
that.
a live Q&A with them.
Yeah,
And this year we're having a panel with a couple other people too.
that's
Um,
awesome.
but yeah, it's just a beautiful time. We do dinner together, and it's a beautiful time
That's
of
awesome.
just restoration. And there's usually people there also to pray with them if they need that. Um,
Hmm.
it's a great community. So some of the moms are my current clients, but sometimes there's half the room I've never met either. So
Yeah, that's so awesome. I love that you're providing that because I think it's very needed.
thank you.
Very, very needed. And I think, yeah, that community piece and being in person and developing like relationships. I mean, I know that I'm obviously my community is online and technology is a beautiful thing, but there's that we're missing that tangible relationship piece of
Um,
in person and sitting with somebody who's it feels different to shoulder the burden of your sister when you're like you're together and you're growing in your relationship in a way that technology can't bridge
yeah,
that gap. So,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, there's
it's
nothing like it. I too obviously do majority of my stuff online. So
yeah.
to be able to meet people in person is just priceless.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. I bet it's super powerful. And then you have a YouTube that has a ton of amazing resources.
Thank you.
I feel like you have really great videos.
I recently just started a new series too on my YouTube channel. It's a weekly. Right now they're launched on Thursdays. This will be the
Okay.
second week.
Okay.
But I've started, it's called the Sally Harris Show, but I'm interviewing moms.
Okay. I like
So
it.
it's all confidential or no faces, no names, but it's her voice and me.
Yeah.
So that's recorded, pre-recorded, but we're launching one per week. So
That's really cool.
yeah, yeah.
That feels like very so kind of like podcast stylish, like on the phone. It's a, it's like a radio. Is it like on the radio how like people used to call in? Do people do that
Um,
anymore where they call into the radio?
yeah, like a Dave Ramsey kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of sorta, except they're here, you just can't see their face. But I use their
Right.
and we use it like that. But it's
That's
more of
cool.
a I'm interviewing them,
Mm-hmm.
but coaching them. Some of them are already in a good place and they get to share success stories, and
Cool.
some of them need the coaching, and that's what
Yeah.
why wanting to
Yeah.
do it. So yeah, they can fill out a form and apply, and yeah, so
So
we have
cool.
like three,
I
four
love
months
that.
already. Yeah.
I love that idea. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Is there anything else that you feel like you would like to share or encourage or any wisdom you would like to get in?
I would say the biggest thing is don't give up hope. Because when just about the time when you give up hope is when your miracle's about to happen. And I see it over and over and over again. And God could do he could do the impossible. And even for someone who might be a newer believer or not quite sure even, the power of our words, the power of our I believe also a visualization. And I'll give you an example. And I can remember when I started doing this, it wasn't because someone told me to, but when we moved to a different state, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
dining room table, and I said to myself, and I pictured my daughter sitting at the dining room table. I'm like, we will have family dinner again. We will have family dinner again, and she will be here because again, she hadn't even been in this state yet, right? Or in our new home or anything. So
Yeah.
I would just believe and I swear every time I walked by the dining room, I would be like, we're gonna do family dinner. We're gonna do family dinner. And we did. And we do every Sunday.
Oh my gosh, that's got me emotional. That's so cool. That's powerful. That's a really good tangible takeaway of that visualizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I feel like that would be a because my question to you is how do you hold on to the hope? Like what is your piece of advice for someone who's struggling to hold on to the hope? And I feel like that might answer that question. I don't know if you have something else that you might recommend, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
powerful.
definitely. Because I think you also need to surround yourself with
Mm,
people who are safe.
mm,
And so I do what I call a personal board of directors with my moms. I want to know like who, yes, they have me, they have my
mhm,
community, but who in real life are their people? They're safe
mm.
people, right? Because when they're done working with me, they've got to be able to function outside of that.
Yeah,
And so that you have to surround yourself. Don't isolate.
yeah,
We've all made mistakes, but even just because your child is not there does not mean this is all your fault,
right.
right? I see both sides of the story. sometimes where mom will be like, oh my gosh, I did this. I can't believe I did this. I need help. The moms that want to change, we can help.
Yeah.
The moms that want to play the victim, I can't help. You
Right.
can't help.
Right.
But you're not gonna lose hope if you surround yourself long enough,
It's true.
consistently with safe people.
That's true. Yeah, that's good.
And be careful who you talk to about this. Even people that are like the closest to you, might be your best friend, might be your sister. Not everyone's going to understand, and nor should they, because if they have not experienced it, you
Right.
might get some bad advice.
Yeah.
And you just have to be careful. And you have to just kind of sift through that and figure out what's best for you. But just be mindful
Yeah.
of that because there's a lot of resources obviously out there now, so you can figure out what's best.
Yeah. Using that discernment piece because, yeah,
Yeah.
there's how many times people have said, well, just call, just go knock on their door. Don't give up. Well, sometimes that is effective and
Yeah.
sometimes it's not.
Exactly. Yeah, it's definitely not a cookie cutter approach. That's what I tell people. I wish I just had this like, here you go.
Right.
Here's 10
Here's a
steps.
how-to guide.
And if
It'll
anyone
fix
tells you it's
everything.
one, don't believe it because there's no such thing because each family's different.
Right.
Situations are different. What I would tell one person isn't what I would go knock on
Yeah.
the door versus don't go knock on the door.
Right. Right. It's so unique. It's not something that's generalized. Like it doesn't just
Right.
yeah. And it's so complex and deep and emotional and
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. I feel like we got like so much packed in there and I am super excited to know you now. I feel like Sally and I think I said this, like, we've never spoken. I came across her on Facebook and it's nice to have heard your story and see how you're encouraging women and the work that you're doing and yeah, I'm excited to hopefully get to chat again sometime and just to share your resources with my community. So thanks
Oh,
for
thank
being
you.
here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having me. It was great.
Okay, so tell us your website or social media or where would you like people to go and look
Yeah.
for you?
Well, the easiest is probably my website, which is sally-harris.com.
Okay,
And then my YouTube is on there. The retreat information is on there. Everything's on there. So
perfect.
that would probably be the one stop
Okay,
shop. See if that could
perfect.
be helpful, those resources.
Perfect. And I will put that in the show notes too. So,
All right.
okay,
Thank you
thanks.
so much.
Bye.
Bye.